The Niners are playing the Cardinals this weekend. We don't know what's going to happen in this game, but let's talk about why the 49ers are better than the Cardinals, are better than the Cardinals and should win. What comes to your mind?
Okay. I want to state flat out, I believe the Niners should win this game. I think they will win this game. I also want to say the Cardinals are rapidly improving, and they have a very good head coach.
Yeah.
Iggy, what's his name?
Cliff Kingsbury.
And I like him as an offensive coordinator. He's a little goofy and brave.
Yes. He's done the best job incorporating the college-style offenses into the NFL. Much better than Chip, whatever his name was, Chip Kelly. Much better.
Oh, Chip. Anyway, so if all things go right, I think the Niners will win this game, although I think it'll be close.
Yeah.
Again, they'll win. Better team, better coaches, especially better defensive coordinator, playing at home. And, they'll have all that music and stuff. They'll have the hometown music and the hometown fan track.
Don't forget the music.
And these really good coaches will have had 2 weeks to prepare. And that's a big deal. So I'm saying, again, we were saying last week, a must-win game. This is a should-win game.
It's a should-win game.
What do you think?
I'll go position by position. I mean, the Niners have a good offensive line. The Cardinals don't. The Niners have a great D-line. The Cardinals have a couple good defensive linemen. The Niners have great linebackers. The Cardinals don't. They're a better team. The Niners were in the NFC Championship. They were in the Super Bowl last year, and the Cardinals won 6 games. The thing about the Cardinals, and I think the reason why AJ at the bottom of the screen is worried about this game, is they kind of seem like the second coming of the Seahawks in the sense that they have this quarterback who is potentially he has a ceiling, a potential that could be Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson. And we like Jimmy Garoppolo, but I don't think we think he's ever going to be like the MVP of the league, although he may be. Kyler Murray was a top 10 pick in baseball, the number 1 pick in football. He's one of the best athletes I've ever seen in person, even though he's only 5'10". And if he can take the leap that other young quarterbacks have made around the league this year, then he may be able to cancel out what advantages the Niners have in the trenches or at linebacker, because quarterback's that important.
One of the things, they just got a terrific wide receiver.
Him too. DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah, he's great.
And he's hard to cover. Okay. So what we're saying is that, and they have Larry Fitzgerald, who's a Hall of Famer. Now, of course, he's slowed down, but he's still really something. It's interesting about the 49ers. It seems to me in current day football, you would want to invest a lot of money in your secondary. You would want to have an elite secondary. And although I feel the Niners have a very good secondary, their elite players are on the line of scrimmage and the linebackers.
Yes.
And if you can do it so you can get the pass off before they get to you, then the Niners might have a little trouble with this offense. What do you think, Iggy?
You're absolutely right. We don't usually talk this type of football nuts and bolts philosophy, but let's do it. I mean, the whole thing about the shotgun is to cancel out the D-line. You're already back there. The ball's in your hands. The ball's out. And the D-line didn't have a chance to take 3 steps. So that's what the Cardinals do more than anyone. They're very much a college-style, spread out, 4 wide receiver shotgun all-game offense. So what they can do is they get the ball and they immediately throw it down the line for a bubble screen. And it's a run. You're just throwing it sideways and you're letting a wide receiver run where there's less defenders. And what you get is the Niners D-line chasing left and right, getting tired. And the people making the plays are the secondary guys, the defensive backs. They're tackling, they're covering all the time. So the reason the Niners do it the way they do it is because Kyle Shanahan is the GM of this team, not Lynch. Shanahan is the architect. He has the creative control. And him and his dad both feel that defensive line is more important because their offense doesn't use shotgun that much. They're an under center, play action pass, long developing pass play offense. So the people who can mess that up the most are great defensive linemen because they're in the backfield and you don't have time to do the play fake, turn around, scan the field, throw the ball. No, it's over. You got to get in the shotgun and protect your quarterback. So from the best way to shut down Shanahan's offense is with D linemen, but he doesn't face his offense. He faces other offenses, and they mostly use shotguns. So the Niners are a little bit kind of stuck in like 1997.
It's very interesting. You're such a good analyst. Iggy, you mentioned bubble screen. Could I talk about that a minute? Yes. Whenever I listen to Papa, Papa's a friend of mine.
Uh-huh.
I swear to God, on every broadcast, he says there's a bubble screen. And, he does it on radio. So I try to visualize. I have to admit, I don't know what a bubble screen is. Could you tell me?
I'll tell you, the bubble is supposed to be like 3 blockers. So the idea is you throw the ball down the line of scrimmage to a wide receiver, and he's got 2 or 3 blockers in front of him. That's a bubble screen, as opposed to a classic screen where you dump the ball off to the halfback in the flat, and he's got all those offensive linemen out in front of him. This is just a couple of tight ends or a couple of wide receivers blocking for a wide receiver. That's all it really is. And when Papa says that stuff, I appreciate how much homework he does, because he knows football more than most play-by-play guys. But I wish he would be a little bit more descriptive and use words that everyone knows instead of like buzzwords and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what he means, but my mom doesn't. Yeah, exactly. If I could give him one piece of advice, we all understand, football. You don't have to prove that. Just let, the layman understand what the hell you're talking about.
Okay. And so he could use the descriptor. There are 2 blockers in front of so-and-so, in front of Mostert, and here he goes. And that's also called the bubble screen.
Right. Okay. I mean, when you teach me writing, you would always say it's not okay to just use jargon. Describe what you mean. Say what you mean.
Right. In fact, I would be hard on you about that.
And it doesn't make you smart to use jargon. It makes you smart to say it in your own way.
Okay. So, Greg, for what it's worth,
Greg,
we love you. For what it's worth, we just talked about that.